Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Collection Neo. Yes, it's me, Alex, I'm here again with a statue review. Ha! Who would have thought it? I was just sitting around thinking, I need to scratch my review itch. Nothing's come through yet. I am literally waiting for Taki from First Figures, hopefully here next week. So I figured we'd do another sexy lady, and a piece that I haven't reviewed yet, obviously. So we've got Kitana from popcultureshock. It's 1/4 scale. I was going to say mixed media, but she isn't. She's all sculpt, and this is way back when, from 2012. Now, I originally ordered this and sold her a while back, so this isn't my original one. This is another one that I picked up about 18 months ago. I kind of wanted to round out my MK collection a little bit, and there's not really many female sculpts that they did, apart from in the action posy type rather than the black base classic, which less we talk about them the better. Although I did review Jade, and that wasn't bad. I think Jade was the first review I did it actually. So yes, this I originally ordered this way back when it first came out, and I sold it for unknown or stupid reasons. Because I've always liked the statue. It's probably one of the best Mortal Kombat pieces that PCS did. Definitely the most well-rounded in more areas than one. So I went back on my sideshow history and had a look. And yeah, so this went up in December 2012 for $365. And it was $25 shipping to the UK. Yeah, a lot changes in 6 years, eh? So she went up for order in December 2012 and she shipped in August 2013. It's like 8 months, 9 months. It's a very, very different story for PCS now, which we'll get onto later. Yeah, so this is from the Mortal Kombat 9 line. Probably the best designs from MK9. I do love the MKX designs, but they kind of took what was classic about them and kind of updated them and rounded them out. I no longer have Sub-Zero or Scorpion from this line because I'm getting the MKX ones to replace them. Again, we'll get onto that later. And Baraka and Shao Kahn also made the line. Was there 5 pieces? Yeah, 5. So you got Scorpion, and then I think it was Kitana or Shao Kahn after that. Then Baraka, and then Sub-Zero's last. It's not a huge line, but Baraka and Kitana will probably never get made again in quarter scale, especially with how PCS are now. And I think this is a piece that stands the test of time rather well, as does Baraka, as does Shao Kahn. Scorpion, Sub-Zero is probably the best in the line. That came out really late, but it's really good design and really good paint. Go and check my review on that. But the original Scorpion, yeah, hasn't held up whatsoever in the MK9 version. But like I say, Kitana still looks great, which we'll go over in a moment. Like I say, the MK9 line died to make room for the MKX line, and MKX ran to 4 pieces. 2 have been released and 2 yet to come. And I think that's been over 4 years, maybe 5 years. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, MKX came out years ago, and yeah, typical popcultureshock style. So even back in 2012, only 150 of these guys, and as I say, it's a sideshow even, exclusive, because that's what popcultureshock used to do there, exclusives through sideshow. But apparently they couldn't sell enough through sideshow, or sideshow too much of a cut, so Jerry cut ties with them, and now in full circle, PCS are back with sideshow. Which, if you don't know, it's a very complicated thing to go over, so I'm not going to go over it, to be honest. Let's check out the piece. Now, my favourite part about this piece is the base. I mean, obviously there's a lot to like about Kitana, but actually, let's just go down a little bit. Let's adjust. So, this is in the game. There's a stage which is an outworld beach, kind of like, you know, the old, you know, the beach landing from Normandy, was it? It's kind of that sort of thing, but done in outworld. So you've got all these huge monsters in the background and all these dead warriors. And this is kind of like a little tiny section of that. So we've got the water, done in clear resin. This is kind of showing its age now. This sort of thing's done much better. It still looks pretty good, but up close it looks a bit It's still got that frothiness, but the same clear water bit looks really good. Then as we spin round, we've got spear pieces that go into the base. These are literally just wooden dowels, weathered up. That one's split, and then we've got this huge monster's hand. It's a fantastic, well realised base, and it does look like it's just come straight out of the game. And as we come around, we've got another spear here which just goes into the base, and this one has actually got the spear tip on it. PCS paints, man, they've always been on point. There's not been many where it's been like, oh my god, these paints are awful. I think the Chun-Li face on the mixed media one was really bad, but even PCS took them back and actually repainted them for customers, which you can't argue with. And then if we look at Kitana herself, we'll come around here. It's got this lovely metallic-y, satiny blue for the paint on Kitana herself. And we've got these fantastic hips and thighs. Now, where the piece does show its age a little bit is in skin tones and textures. Some of it's a bit flat. You can see the abs here and stuff. But I think a belly button might be a little bit too high and it's a bit textureless here. Obviously she shaves. Yeah, I think the paint nowadays we're so used to, especially with PCS pieces, so much texture and, you know, skin texture and speckles and, you know, pores and things like that. This does look, but it's very, very clean still. Looks very, very good. There is some shading to it. It's still got a good skin tone. We'll skim round to the back. Yeah, those MK9 costumes, they really changed them in MK10. I mean, NetherRealm always put the women, you know, in the most scantily clad, and it got like so bad with like MK versus DC Universe of Sonya Blade and that. It was just like, you know, this is getting beyond ridiculous. And MKX actually tidied that up and fixed it a lot. You know, the women actually dress like women. You know, Sonya General Blade or Major Blade actually looked like she was in the military and not like a stripper. But I think this kind of strikes that balance of being like Arabian princess and princess of Outworld, and, you know, well, not being super duper, shall we say slutty? Let's say slutty. This piece actually is on magnets and does come off. Join on there isn't too bad, but it could be better. But obviously it's a very thin piece. It does actually touch the base as well. Then as we come up, I will go to the fans in a moment. We'll talk about the fans. So this is actually all sculpt here. It's not mixed media. Very delicate. Very well done, actually. And like I say, she's very well, the musculature and the body is super, super nicely done. And you can see a face there as well. Very, very clean paint, as usual, from PCS. Even back in the day. A little simplistic, maybe, for these days. You know? But very clean. And obviously, with the light and shading, when you've got her on display, you get those shadows and that, which all adds to the look. As you can see, the hair, quite flat and texture at the back. But in hand, you know, with not too much light on. It's got that cartoony look, which PCS still do now. They've just put their new G.I. Joe, which is based on the cartoon, so I can understand that, but it's that He-Man Filmation look. It's a bit, you know, the newer statues are a lot more detailed. Look at Kahn or Quan Chi, there's much more detail. But then again, the costumes in MKX lean more that way. MK9 leaned more towards a cartoony look, more than realism. And that's picked up pretty well on this statue. Now we will talk about the fans. I'm sure you're just seeing the one at the bottom. So these are the exclusive fans. This is only with the exclusive. The regular, I'll show you a regular fan first. Just your normal fans, top and bottom. And then the exclusive has the blood on. Now the blood, again, as I was just saying, it's quite cartoony. It's sculpted clear resin. It's really well done how it's been blended into the fans. And then the top one's a little different as well. Now, if you ever do pick up this statue, guys, watch out for the magnets on the hands. They are a little weak, and I've seen people moving it without taking the fans off, and they have broken. Especially the EX fans, because they are quite heavy. So I'm going to put the regular ones in. So the EX on this actually came with the bloody fans and the switch out head, so the head does come off. The switch out head had no mask on it, but I haven't got the switch out head for mine when I rebought this. It's actually, talking about prices and that, it actually goes for about 500, 450, 500 quid. You know, complete. I picked this up for about 300, and it was missing the exclusive head. So it is the exclusive, but it's missing the exclusive head. Sorry guys, I just want to get that, and there we go. It was missing the exclusive head, but I never display, you know, it's like these Wolverines and Spider-Mans with no masks. You always display a mask, and Kitana's no exception. So for the discount I got, I just really wasn't bothered about the unmasked head. The unmasked head, if you haven't seen it, it's okay. The 1-3 of Kitana's just actually been released by PCS, and it's a really nice looking piece, but the unmasked head is, it's fine, but you really should be displaying these masked. So there she is with the normal fans. She clocks in at about 22 inches, I think. I mean, not that I'm going to measure. I don't think you need the exclusive, because this basically now is the regular setup, and it looks great. Lots of nice display angles. And like I say, I think that base is fucking phenomenal. As much as I like the MKX PCs, Kotol and Quan Chi, they kind of held back a bit on the bases. Now they've gone way more, you know, environmental with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. And I wish they'd done that with Kotol and Quan Chi. Quan Chi did actually originally. He was like stepping up onto a cliff or like a rocky bit, and they took that out, which confused me slightly. But yeah, it's a great statue. Definitely my favourite Kitana. As nice as the 1-3 is, I mean, I don't think there's any other 1-4 scale. So if you are collecting 1-4 scale fighting or 1-4 scale Mortal Kombat, this is the one to get. It's the only one to get. They never made her in Classic. They made Jade and Melina, and never did Kitana, strangely. So yeah, guys, I do highly recommend it. Like I say, exclusive's not necessary. It's not exclusive or fail. There's only 150 exclusives anyway, and I've seen a lot of these broken, so there's probably far less than that knocking about. But yeah, overall, it's a great piece. Even for its age, you know, I think that's the thing nowadays. A lot of people are just swapping out because they want the latest thing. But you know, a lot of these classic pieces stand the test of time, and this is one of them for me, definitely. She's a really nice sculpt and really clean paints, and you know, there wasn't a lot of MK9 stuff that was this good. Like I say, Sub-Zero, Baraka's pretty good, and Shao Kahn's pretty good, but a little bit small. But I'd say this and Sub-Zero are the best from that line. So while we're on Mortal Kombat, I figured we'd just have a little talk about the future of the MK line with PCS. It's very quiet at the moment. as I say, right, what's up for order now, and I have all 3 of these ordered and pretty much paid for. I think I owe a bit on Raiden, but we've got the MKX, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which are coming out next March. And that is over 3 years for those. That is over 3 years for their pre-orders. From what I've been told recently, that they are hitting production around December. So I'm guessing they're hoping, and I'm guessing that they're hoping to get them out as soon as possible. But of course, February is Chinese New Year, so all of China shuts down, and there's no statues shipping in or out for February. So I'm guessing as soon as it kicks back in March, they'll be out. It's a fucking ridiculous amount of time to wait, guys. And I honestly don't blame anyone for cancelling. But I do really want those MKX pieces still. I do plan to sell my 1-3 Scorpion and Sub-Zero, as I mentioned before, once they come in. I don't really like have multiples of the same characters, and the Mortal Kombat pieces are the last 1-3 pieces I've got, so they will go eventually next year once they ship. But I do still want to have a 1-4 Mortal Kombat collection. So that's it for the MKX line. So the MKX line got 4 pieces. That's one less than the MK9 line, which is ridiculous. It really is. There's so many people out there who want Kung Lao, and they want, I was expecting like Devora and Ferrator and even Reptile. Reptile's never been done in 1-4. Well, I say proper Reptile, but a modern Reptile. And Aaron Black, Ermac. I've been asking for Ermac since MK9 was out, before 10 came out. And I just think Ermac in like a floaty pose of the green clear energy and the green, and light up neon green. It'd just be an easy statue to make, and it'd look fantastic. I just think it'd sell so well, but no. So the last Mortal Kombat piece that went up for order was Raiden, which is part of PCS's Legacy line. So this is basically what Jerry said when Jerry was still at PCS. This is his take on if XM Studios did Mortal Kombat. So it's like this rocky base of all lightning coming out, and it's got light up in the base for the lightning, light up in Raiden's eyes, light ups in his hands, all the lightning's lit up. It looks awesome. But then there's been nothing. There's been concept art shown for Sonya as a mixed media with a black base, but then an environmental base, kind of like what they do with the Street Fighter Ultimate PCs, trying to satisfy both user bases. Whereas me, I just think they should just carry on with this legacy thing. Don't adhere to what new Mortal Kombat's coming out and try and do a line based on that. Just do a legacy line, just pick costumes and characters from the last 10 games and just do awesome statues, because that's all people want. If a lot of the times, you play I don't play Kitana in Mortal Kombat. It's very rare I play Kitana, but it's an awesome statue. I like the character. She just doesn't play right for me, but I still love the game. I love the character and I love the legacy of it. So I've got the statue, and I think, Sonya the same. I don't play Sonya. I've never played Sonya. But, the legacy of the character, and if they did it right, I'd definitely buy it. And I think that's the thing. If it's a cool statue, people just go for it. And then, of course, we've got more 1-3 coming, apparently. They showed a base which looked like the Living Forest a while ago, and never seen anything of it. So either they're just paused on Mortal Kombat. Oh, they also showed a Shang Tsung, MK9 Shang Tsung, of like a big sculpted soul in his hand, which looked fucking great. But just nothing. Hopefully, we'll get a bit of Mortal Kombat soon. PCS is kind of up in the air. If you're not sure about it, check out Statue Forum, check out the PCS group. There's plenty of information around there for what exactly is going on with the company. But I really hope, that if PCS have given up the ghost and we do get MK11, I would really like Prime 1 to get it. Or, I don't know, anyone, a sideshow. Anyone would be better, to be honest, at this point. Not necessarily better, but it would be, I think if Prime 1, we'd get a few statues, sideshow maybe not. Just want someone to take the risk. Killer Instinct, the same. Someone's just got to take the risk on the IP. So, there we go, guys. A little history on MK. So hopefully in the next few months I'll have Scorpion and Sub-Zero. That's like I say, 3 years. It's mental. It's mental. And Fearsome Figures that are knocking statues out in 10 months, 10 to 12 months, and Prime One are doing them in 15. 3 years is monstrously bad. It really is. It really is. But there we go, guys. What a downer to end a review on, but there we go. If you do see Kitana out in the wild and you do want a Kitana statue, I can't recommend her enough. Like I say, the new 1.3's come out, it looks great. The blood effect on the fans on the 1.3 is much better than this, but it's 1.3. If you're not collecting 1.3, this is the 1.4 to get. So yeah, hopefully guys, be back maybe soon with another video, but if not, I'll see you in a week or so when Taki comes from First Figures, and hopefully a few more before the year's out. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye.